What's up, buddy? Y'all, every
I need to jump in. I was listening to the YouTube because obviously I'm a fan. By the way, shout out to you, Davion, and your tan. You look phenomenal. The tank top
thank you,
is really working for you. There's
thank you.
a real glow to you. Kenny leaves and you just get a glow to you.
I do. It happens when I'm next to James, though. I look a little bit darker whenever James is with me.
I got that. Yeah, I can see how that might be. Miles Turner is not going to get you a first round pick back. Unfortunately, that's a hit. He's gonna get you probably less than Jeremy Grant got back, which was a 2025 second round pick, because Miles Turner wants to get paid like Anthony Simons money. And Miles Turner thinks he's going to get Rudy Gobert type. He thinks he's Rudy Gobert.
So can I just ask a quick question? Are you comfortable? I feel like you're just standing somewhere holding your phone. Like, are you?
What happened was, guys, I have my phone. I'm sitting on a couch.
Okay.
With something in the back. I'm totally comfortable.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
I'm totally comfortable. Here's what happened. I am in New York for an orthodontist appointment because I'm trying to get my smile perfect like Kenny's. And I just decided I'm not on the fan tomorrow. So I decided I'm not going to bring my laptop because I just don't want to bring it with me. And then, of course, I remembered midway through, I was in Philly driving from DC to New York. And then I was like, oh, no. So we're going to thug this out on the phone. Why not?
Well, you sound great. You look great. It was fun. Me and James.
Well, I was like, can they see me? Is it going to be vertical? Should I horizontally fix it? And then I could see Hammy. He was like, what's going on? What's this?
You're going the wrong way.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it was perfect. I'll take it. Okay, so that you jumped in early because you don't think Miles did. So what do you think of that deal over Buddy? What the Buddy and Turner for Russ and a first in like 3 years?
Oh, I don't like that deal. I think that's why Indiana wants 2 firsts, right? And I don't think they're going to do it for 1. I think they really, and I feel very strongly about this. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen Billions. Where the guy goes, I am not uncertain. I am not uncertain that Indiana is looking to get off of Miles Turner. And they are looking to get off of him and have been, and that's why he's circulated in trade rumors. And they obviously have been testing the market constantly and cannot get a first round pick back for him. Right. So the asset management is league wide. I feel. What is your thoughts on this? What's that squint, Tammy?
Well, no. I just want to point this out, and I get that I'm the defender, and I'll do this till I die. Like this is absurd. There's a report. There's something out there from Tim McMahon, who I guess he reached out to Dallas and asked them about their interest in acquiring Russell Westbrook, and their response was, "Hell no." That was the quoted response. What are we doing right now? We're talking about Russell Westbrook like he's a scrub. Like we've got to stop this. This disrespect is getting a little bit too much. Like we need to calm down. He's been bad exactly 1 year. Stop this. This is absurd. He was on the worst Laker team in history, and y'all have blamed him for it. Now we're getting these responses of, oh, hell no, I don't want him on my team. Man, get out of here with that.
4 teams, 4 years. All predicated on him.
But that's cap. That's cap. But that doesn't mean anything. Like they were blowing up. He re-signed in Oklahoma City. They were ready to rock. Paul George decided he wanted to leave. Presti went to him and said, "What do you want to do?" He said, "You're blowing."
Wait. No, Monfrere. No, Monfrere. He wanted to join Kawhi, and then Kawhi flipped that conversation and turned it into Paul George. Come hither. Remember, there was a report about that being a phone conversation and Kawhi not picking up Russell Westbrook's phone calls and then going out and getting Paul George.
How did I miss this story?
Huh?
How did I miss that?
I believe that was reported.
You just gave background information that you thought was reported.
We might have
Oh,
to go back and break this down. Yeah.
What are
okay.
you thinking, Ham? You're sitting in there, you're squinting around, you're
I think you can get a first round pick for Miles Turner.
a good
And
one?
we'll know,
Yeah.
probably
In
in
the
the 20s.
1920s.
Yeah, in that range. But still, I think you can get that for Miles Turner. I mean, it has to be the right deal because he makes 17.5 million. So you're going to have a team that has either wide open cap space or has players that are, that you can fit into a deal. Like, again, you brought up Dallas. I think Dallas would be crazy not to go out and get Miles Turner. I mean, if he's available and you can give up a future first, that's a really good fit player for them. I just think he's better than most of the players that you have at that position. And I think there are other teams out there that, are still, if they can upgrade the center position, a guy who is a really good shot blocker and a 3-point shooter, I think you can probably find a home for him. I just don't know that getting, it's not just that it's a 2027 Lakers pick. I mean, that it's a 2027 pick. It's that it's a 2027 Lakers pick. And by 2027, LeBron James could be gone. Anthony Davis could be gone. And they could have like 3 new superstars to fill the void. And your pick is going to be in the late 20s and it's not going to be any good. So, I mean, if I'm Indiana, I'm looking around for a better deal. Maybe I'm, calling the Knicks. Maybe there's a bunch of teams I would be
So
calling and saying, hey.
So you think that he's worth more than Jeremy Grant?
It's circumstantial. Like I think Jeremy Grant, first of all, is a couple of years older, but they were looking to move off of that contract. I'm not quite sure why Detroit moved off of all that money, but they also wanted to free up a spot, and I don't know. Like Jeremy Grant's time was coming to an end in Detroit, and they knew that. So they got what they got. I think they could have got more. I'm surprised they didn't get more. But if that's all he was worth league wide, I would be stunned. Like, we always heard they were asking for 2 first-round picks for Jeremy Grant, which was excessive. But I certainly thought that they could have done better than they did. Maybe they couldn't, but that just surprised me that was the best that they could get for Jeremy Grant.
I think you could get more for Miles Turner if this wasn't an expiring, and he didn't, from what I can gather, he wants a really big payday.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna pay a first round pick for him, and you're not gonna pay him next year, and he's had health concerns and real inconsistency in his production in terms of like rebounding, my man gets 4 rebounds in a game sometimes. That's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Well, that was the same situation with Grant, though. He's an expiring contract, and he wanted a $120 million extension.
Right. But nobody is being like, well, I played with Miles Turner on Team USA and I want him, and nobody has a franchise by the balls like Damian Lillard.
True.
It's facts. You're listening to D'Lo and KC on KIFM West Sacramento, KRXQ HD2 Sacramento, ESPN 1320, driven by last year's Elk Grove Dodge, always live on the free Odyssey app. We found the article. Whatever. I don't care about the stupid Clippers story. I don't even want to talk about it. But we found the article just for the record. Speaking
you
of,
did find it. Okay, so yes, okay, good.
Yeah, I just don't want to talk about it anymore. Speaking of having an organization by the balls, are you buying the Philadelphia 76ers? Are you buying this whole James Harden is the hero stuff?
No, I'm not. I think it's a nice story. I think it's a nice gesture. I think that prolongs his career with Philadelphia, and he's going to continue to get money and get paid handsomely from Daryl Morey. I think it's a situation where if you take everything now, it makes it really hard for Daryl Morey to go to ownership, which we know is a group ownership, right? It's a consortium of guys. And it's really hard to be like, hey, we know we paid him 47, but we also want to extend him another 3 years at that. I think it's just a lot harder. Now you at least say, well, he's a team player. He's willing to take less. He's willing to do what it takes. We got PJ Tucker. Joel Embiid said that he needed a dog just like PJ Tucker. And because of James Harden, we were able to acquire him. Don't you see all the narratives were about James Harden were wrong? Let's give him like a $90 million 3-year deal or more. I think it's a finesse to ultimate levels. I am not I'm not like phased by it. Doesn't change how I feel about James. He needs to get in shape. We know this. He needs
Well,
to
and he needs to get in shape and stay in shape.
yes.
Like he's doing the Anthony Davis, workout post, off season videos like the rest of them are. Like, yeah, all right, cool. Like let's see what happens after a couple of road trips. Let's see what happens after that road trip to Atlanta. Let's see what shakes in after that game.
Have you guys heard about this traveling hookah setup he has?
Another article I think I've missed.
So yeah, apparently James Harden travels with the full hookah setup on the road with the whole hookah man and like all the flavors and a hookah for the road, folks.
He's got a hookah man that comes with him?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's wild.
I mean, you can't set up hookahs on your own. It's like very intensive craft.
I guess I would hope that he at least has like a secondary like skill set, like he's also a beard shaper. So a hookah / beard shaper man that you bring with you everywhere.
Snoop's got the weed roller.
Yeah.
I think Snoop's weed roller makes more than I do. Like if you're very good at that, hey.
He brings special oils and all the stuff, and there's a lot of glass with hookah. I would imagine it's hard to like make sure that things don't get broken. All the pieces, all the metal, all the tubes, probably pillows, because you can't have hookah without pillows.
I'm not big like into the hookah thing. Like I've never.
It's a full-on multi-piece thing. It's
and
like it's a whole thing.
Is that legal in every state?
No idea about the legality behind it. I just know I've heard there's a hookah man.
Well, hookah is
like just like tobacco.
Legal.
Yeah.
It's just what are you putting in it that maybe it's not, because can't you put your own?
I guess I have some THC oil. I don't know. I think that might mess around with the hookah. I think that might contaminate it.
the THC would ruin the hookah. Well, I guess. I mean, that's interesting. Now I got to Google James Harden's hookah man. I need to learn more about this.
He's a guy with a lot of stories about. Like I know, like the stories I've heard. Like he won't take the team bus, so he almost missed 2 playoff games in the Bay Area because he got stuck in traffic trying to get to the arena. Because he won't take the team bus. And there's a lot of James Harden stories where you just kind of like, all right, he's about that lifestyle.
Yeah, I think if we want to dig deep on James, he wanted to go to maybe a different school than he went to, ended up at Arizona, feels like he's got the little brother syndrome to a degree at OKC, wants to be the man. Once you become the man, then people are discrediting you in certain ways for your playoffs performances. So I think there's just a little bit of like, I don't know, there's something inside of James where there's some validation and wanting to go with the beat of his own drum. You know what I mean? By the way, guys, after I spoke with you guys about Davion Mitchell and the Chatty House was so supportive, I got a DM from young Davion.
How did that go?
So I woke up.
For those who weren't with us, Trysta sat in front of Davion Mitchell at a summer league game. Davion and a crew of guys that was with him, and apparently our beloved defensive leader just talked trash like the entire game. So much so Trysta was having so much fun she couldn't get up to go to the bathroom. Like she had to be there for this entire trash talking session. She told the story on D-Lo and KC the next day, and you got a DM.
And it was like, hey, you should have introduced yourself. I'm a huge fan of the podcast.
Who isn't? The Heat Check podcast.
And I was like, is this a lie? Is this true? And I was like, really? And I was like, do you want to come on? And he was like, I'd love to.
Oh, let's go. Davion on the Hoop Check podcast, or Heat Check podcast. Let's go.
And then I sat watched Sacramento play Indiana. And then I was like in the press area and he like came over and said, hey. So shout out to the Chatty House for creating a new friendship. I thought I was going to get, I got one of those heart in the throat moments.
I think Davion, a good trash talker knows they're a trash talker. Like they're okay with the description of, yeah, of course I was sitting around talking trash about all of these guys. Like that wasn't his first time. Yeah, exactly.
I'm better.
Exactly.
I'm just thinking this whole time. She kisses and tells.
Oh, there's definitely, James, there's definitely levels to this. There's things that don't come out of the underground dungeon.
Okay, one last thought on the East. Miami is obviously desperate to land one of these two, whether it's Donovan or KD. If they come up empty, are they just another really good regular season team and that's it?
It feels like there's something wrong with Kyle. I don't know if that's age. I don't know if that's other things. I don't know. It feels like there's too many undrafted guys as much as they want to like tout how good they are at developing these guys that have been undrafted like Max Strus and Gabe Vincent and Caleb Martin and Udonis Haslam is going on I forget what's it called, the Duncan Robinson podcast. I forget what that one's called. And Duncan Robinson's getting the bag. It feels like maybe you guys want to like just get more guys that aren't undrafted that maybe can contribute more playoff minutes at a higher like level. Gabe Vincent, great player, not a defensive stopper in any way, can get you some buckets, but like it would have been nice to have a wing that could maybe stop someone. So I think you're right. I think without, and I don't know if Donovan does it. Hard to say. If they could get KD, obviously that changes the game. As long as you don't have to give up the farm, right? And I don't know how you get KD without giving your entire team away.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I think probably KD will stay in Brooklyn if they can't get the deal that they want. They'll just hold them hostage.
I think that's what's happening.
Hold them hostage and pay him $50 million a year. Like it's such a horrible hostage situation.
Yeah, just one of the worst. One of the worst situations you could ever imagine. Yeah. But awkward nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been working for anyone? Obviously not this beautiful job that we have, but have you ever worked for an employer and you're like, I just want to go, and they just won't let me? Every day is like, F you guys.
Cell phone Trysta is undefeated. Just like you're like 10 out of 10. On the cell phone. This is phenomenal.
I have some new news I want to plug.
Okay, let's go. 2
interviews took place during Summer League. I want everyone to keep an eye out on. We're going to be cutting pieces of them and sending them out before we put the whole interview out on the Heat Check. But I did almost 2 hours with Jerry West.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, and we talked about a bunch of things. There's a couple of breaking news elements, I think, in terms of what he talked about in terms of his career as a player, as it relates to the Kevin Durant situation. So he said at one point he wanted to request a trade, and he wished that he did. So we'll talk about that. That happened. And then also we had a nice interview with Nick Nurse, an hour-long conversation with him. Very clean audio. Less clean was the Jerry West interview, but we persist and we continue. So be on the lookout for that.
That's awesome. That's fantastic.
DeAndre Ayton also agreed to come on the podcast. So hopefully with the Suns situation, that will be possible.
Bam, you're on a roll now. I'm with that.
The
Heat Check podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get podcasts from. Thank you so much for joining us on the phone. This was awesome.
Do you want me to just do the phone from now
on? I feel like you're you're always chill. You're always you're one of everybody's favorite guests, but there's some different vibe with the blanket and like just chilling. It's so
turn the lights down.
Yeah, you're in a whole different vibe right now. And I think you jumped on 10 minutes early to be upset about Miles Turner. Like, I love this.
I literally was sitting and waiting in the Airbnb to come on, and I was like, let me just see what they're talking about, just to kind of see what's happening, because I was off yesterday and kind of have been phone off, and I was like, no shot, Miles Turner's getting
I love it. We appreciate you.
Let me in off the waiting room.
Oh, we got you. As
Awesome.
soon as you figured out the direction of the camera, we got you.
Where is Kenny?
He's in Las Vegas. It's his birthday.
Where was he last week?
He was in Anaheim for his, I think it was Anaheim for Reese's basketball tournament.
And where was he the week before that?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'm not sure.
You guys
I think
are
she's
together
saying
last me and the BetMGM Tonight crew.
Oh no, this like he'll come back. We'll settle in. I'm gonna be out by you. I'm gonna be in New York for a week in August, and then that's it. Yeah, we're off and running after that.
Do you have all your capri pants packed already?
See, it's tough, yo. It's like 90 something out there. I know you're making fun of me. I ain't gonna sell it, but I might be out there in shorts. I'll probably be out there in some joggers, and I'll guarantee you this: though, no matter what I wear, my pants aren't gonna touch my ankles.
Just because you don't want them to touch your shoes, or just because you feel like it's the best for how good?
I want you to see my shoes. I want you to look down. Oh, your pants are short. Oh, those are ... That's what I want you to see.
Oh
is
my
my
God,
shoes.
are those the? Did you guys get? I bet J Ham was up early to get the Travis Scotts on the sneaker app. I'm assuming the reverse mochas were on his top of his wish list.
One of us on the screen has them.
How'd you get them? Yo, can you DM me? Those are like that's the best color.
Oh, we're gonna do the DM thing. We're gonna DM each other about shoes. We're gonna go down that.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Because then she's gonna tell everybody.
I thought Eddie
on that road before.
No, J Ham, I've got some stories I will never share. I only share the ones that are funny and that I know won't hurt anyone. I did see Eddie, and I was like, yo, you got my Twitter shut down. We had a nice little story. Eddie Johnson, former player. He's the one who had the sneaker. Remember the sneaker plug?
That's why I'm laughing at you talking about me sending you a DM about some sneakers. Like, we're okay. I believe I can help you out. If you want the reverse mochas, I'm very confident I can help you out.
Size 6. You're the best. Text me after the show. I am all in.
Okay, I got you.
Bye, Eddie House. Bye, J Ham.